Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, Sarah. Sarah, did you set the English interpretation?
Yeah, I'm okay. Now I'm setting.
Okay, sadhu. Sarah, are you ready to start the Dharma talk?
Okay, ready?
Okay. Vietnamese, Seattle, and good evening, everyone. Good morning for everyone in the East Hemisphere. Welcome to the 7-day plus 14-day Samatha-Vipassanā Meditation Retreat conducted by Venerable Aganya and Venerable Kovida. Today, Venerable Kovida will continue with the Dharma talk on Bojjhanga Sutta Part 8. May we now invite Sarah to start today's Dharma talk, and may we invite both interpreter Bande to start the translation. Sadhu.
Okay, now we will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Today we will continue Bojjhanga Sutta, Viriya Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of efforts. So yesterday we have already talked about efforts up to number 3. So among the 11, now today we have to continue talking about number 4. Pinda Bada Bhajana Da, the honoring of alms. Okay, when we talk about the honoring of alms means as a ordinary person or as a meditator, our life relying on other people, especially with our lives depending on our donors. The donors are neither relatives nor workers nor slave of you. Okay, that means they are not our relatives, they are not our workers, they are not our slave, but they are still working for us. This is called honoring of them. When we are going to use their properties, we must honor them. Although we don't have any blood relationship, or although we are not workers, employer and employee, then they still working for us. So that means when we can practice very well, it will be very beneficial for the donors. That's why when we are meditating, we are also working for the welfare of our donors and our workers. So everywhere, then there will be kitchen team. Like in some places, maybe you have to pay money for kitchen team, but some places you don't have to pay money. Anyway, although they are working for the meditation retreats, they may have their own background story, then they may have many other their duties. So the main thing is, if we are practicing very well, we are paying back their gratitudes. It's also beneficial for themselves. So here the story of Venerable Ayamita. The Venerable one overhearing an old lady and her daughter sharing their food with him, practicing diligently, and he could attain eldership. Yeah, and just summarize the sutta here, the story here. Okay, if we elaborate a little bit more, the Venerable Ayamita lived in the forest. Every day he just come down for Vindabhata to the one family. So there are an old lady and her only daughter. So only 2 ladies there. One day when he was coming down, the mother is talking to her only daughter. Okay, my daughter, if your big brother come, please offer this type of rice, this type of food, and actually very, very good quality she prepare. Also, if there's a remaining food or leftover food, you can eat it. Then daughter put counter question. Man, what do you eat today? I have eaten leftover food last night. Right? It's enough for me. And you and your brother is more important. So that means the lady treats him as a son, her own son. The daughter also treat him as a big brother. Also, they offer special foods, choice foods. For about the old lady, even she didn't eat that quality, but she still offer good quality to Venerable Ayamita. On hearing that, when he didn't go for Minabata, he just left to the forest. Then he also thought, as long as I cannot attain a headship, I shall not accept their food. So here, in this case, we can also understand that he had been practicing a very long time. Though he had experienced many different ways of practice, and also he had already achieved some level of insight knowledges. That's why he dared determine, and he attained headship, he will never come down for Binabata. After that, he really tried very hard. Then he attained headship. When he come down for Binabata, both daughter and mother, he realized, oh, today my son fate is a little bit different from previous day. He may have achieved something. Then the daughter also realized, oh, today my brother face is a little bit different. He may have attained some attainment, although they didn't know he attained headship. But also they can guess that he has already attained what he wished. So this is called paying back donor's gratitude. So when we want to pay back our donors' gratitude or workers' gratitude, especially volunteer workers' gratitude, then we must practice well. It will be more beneficial for their merit, and they can get better merit, stronger merit, or more beneficial for their future. So that is why when we are lazy, we must remember the donors and volunteer workers and their gratitudes. Then we have 5. Dayaja Mahata Bachavakanada. Okay, now here. Reflection on the greatness of heritage. So one more thing. Buddha wished us to accept the heritage of Dharma. Buddha didn't wish us to accept the heritage of words or material. Material means good. Now Buddha already entered Nirvana. We can still survive as a Buddhist. As a bhikkhu also, we can still survive. It's supported by our devotees. If we follow gain, if we just expect the gain from the devotees, it's not the Buddha wish. So here the Buddha just wished his disciple to accept the heritage of Dhamma. Okay, here we have the 7 kinds of noble words. We must be careful. So we must try to have one of these 7 in our daily life. For example, Saddha, faith. So we have to check our confidence is becoming stronger or weaker. If our confidence becomes stronger, that means we are improving. If our confidence becomes weaker, that means we cannot get any heritage. We cannot inherit any of Buddha's Dhamma. Similarly, morality. Now we also have to check our morality. Is it become stronger or become weaker? If our morality is stronger and stronger, that means that day is worthy, meaningful day. If our morality become weaker and weaker, that day is meaningless. The supporting cause of morality, and the next one, moral shade, hiri. Also, moral fear, ottappa. If we summarize for these two, if we hesitate to do evil things, unwholesome things, this is called moral shade and moral fear. If we do eagerly, willingly, proudly, that means we don't have moral shame and moral fear. Sometimes, although it's a shameful thing, we are proud of it. That means we don't have moral shame. Sometimes it will produce bad results, but we are brave to do. This means we don't have moral fear. In the case of moral fear, we can also say complain by good people, wise people. If we are not scared of complain by wise people, good people, that means we don't have moral fear. Both moral shame and moral fear come from respect. If we don't respect our own value, and if we don't respect other people's value, we may not have moral shame and moral fear. That we may not have morality also. So that is why having moral shame and moral fear, we are getting better. That means we can observe or we can undertake research better. Another thing is sutta, knowledge. The knowledge means learning knowledge. Then we may study Nikayas, 1 Nikayas, 2 Nikayas, 3 Nikayas, 4 Nikayas, 5 Nikayas. Although we learn 1 Nikaya, we can say we are knowledgeable. We call sutta. When we have Dhamma knowledge, we can also practice better because we have knowledge enough knowledge, and it will helpful for our practice. Another thing is charity, jaga. We can also say generosity or offering. So that means when we have too much attachment to our material, we may not offer. We may not share our material with our Dhamma friends. That's why Buddha also wished his students or his disciples to share their properties with their Dhamma friends. So the purpose of jaga is to cut attachment to material, that means material properties. Not only that, the purpose of charity is to cut possessiveness, stinginess. But if we are stingy, we may not offer, we may not share. That is why charity is also important. We may have less attachment to our properties. So that means sometimes we have many properties, we cannot use all of them. Somebody may need our material, our properties. We can share it with our friends. And this is also called charity. Another Panya wisdom. In the case of wisdom, we have many different levels of wisdom. For example, we may have Kammasakata Samadhi or Kammasakata Panya. That means Kamma ownership knowledge. Then if we have knowledge about good things will bring good results, good action will bring good results, bad action will bring bad results. When we have this kind of understanding, we can also say Kammasakata Panya. The actual Kammasakata Panya is a little bit high because when we can discern cause and effect relationship, then our karma ownership knowledge becomes stronger. This is real karma sakara samadhi. Now we also have dhanamaya panya, the knowledge produced by sharing or offering. So when we have habit of offering or sharing properties, we come to know how to share. We become more skillful to share our properties, how to share effectively, who to share and what to share. When we have this kind of knowledge, this is called dhanamaya panya. Now we also have silamaya panya, the wisdom produced by morality. It also comes from practice. For example, now in our community, we have to follow Panimokkha rules. It depends on our society. Then we have different knowledge, different background. Also, we have different skill. So we must know how to avoid doing something wrong. We must also learn how to perform our duties. If we know how to avoid and also how to fulfill our duties, then we become wiser. This is also produced by morality. Then we also have jnanamaya panya. Then many people misunderstand. Jhana is just concentration, no wisdom. In reality, in samatha also, we need wisdom. If we don't have wisdom, we cannot see the light, we cannot see the nimitta, we cannot attain the jhana. So when we attain jhana also, we have special skill to maintain, to improve. This is also jnanamaya panya, the knowledge produced by jhana. Then not only that, we also have vipassana panya. So when we can discern nama-rupas, mentalities and materialities, then we come to know very much in detail about mentalities and materialities. We can also say vipassana panya, insight knowledge. Now finally, when our insight knowledge becomes powerful, we also have Magga panya, Phala panya. We can also say Lokuttara panya, path of fruition knowledges. So when we have all of these seven or some of these seven, then we have great heritage. If we don't have any of these, we cannot get any heritage from the Buddha. That is why all the heritage is very great things from a saddha confidence. Everybody wishes to have confidence. Then when they have confidence, they become stronger. They also know. Similarly, morality. When we have kindness, we wish to be moral. We don't wish to disturb anybody. So that means this is also very high level, very great heritage. Similarly, moral shame and moral fear. It's not that easy to get. Dhamma knowledge, it takes time to learn. Jaga, if we have attachment and stinginess, we cannot offer. Wisdom is the most difficult part. Everybody wanted to be wise. So if we have all these things, we have great heritages. That's why to accept one of these heritages, we must practice very well. We must be diligent. If we are lazy, we cannot achieve any of these. So a bad child cannot accept the heritage of parents. So be careful. So all these seven heritage are very great. But if we are bad, we cannot accept this kind of heritage. Even in social worldly life, you may have bad child, then you may not give any of your heritage to bad child, right? Similarly, if we are very bad, we cannot get any heritage of the Buddha, from the Buddha. That is why we must reflect. the value of these heritages, the greatness of the heritages, it will be easier for us to practice. We may be more diligent to practice. Then inferior faith produces inferior morality, concentration, and so on. I just introduced very beginning part of it. So sometimes we don't have confidence. Our confidence is not so strong. We may have many excuses, right? Then we don't want to practice very well. Then not only that, we have weaker effort also. Right? We have like sometimes we don't want to practice many different meditation subjects. We don't want to do what we like. Then this is a very big problem. We cannot improve anymore. The rule of faith is following the teaching of the Buddha and practicing the three training respectfully without any excuses. So if we have confidence, or if we have faith in the Buddha teaching, we may follow respectfully. We know it's beneficial. Okay, I'm giving Bojjhanga Sutta in Nepal. Every night I have a Dhamma talk here also. So in that story, Venerable Kovida, he was born in a rich family, a wealthy family. His mother is a Mandani, so he is also called Mandani Buddha. His brother is a Venerable Kovida, that means Anyasi Kovida. Venerable Kovida, after attaining arhatship, he visited his younger daughter, also younger sister. Also, he just invited his nephew, only nephew, Venerable Kovida, to be ordained. Venerable Kovida didn't put any counter question. How, why? He didn't ask any question. Without asking any question, he just ordained. He realized that his uncle will never never mislead him, right? That's why he just followed his uncle's instruction, just ordain and then practice. He also attained heraldship. Okay, the main thing is, like the Buddha say, not to kill. Okay, don't kill. Don't kill any living beings. And when the Buddha say, don't steal. Okay, don't steal anybody's properties. So if we respect the Buddha teaching, if we have stronger faith, then we may practice respectfully. That's why words, among the 7 noble words, right? Sattha is also really very important. So if we don't have sattha, we may have many excuses. Why I have to do this? Why I have to follow it? Many excuses for practicing. Even this method is not very suitable for me. Maybe I should go to another meditation center. Now, I haven't met that kind of people also. So that means suitable and unsuitable is not our decision. Right? We cannot decide suitable or unsuitable. We don't know. We cannot know. Even Venerable Sariputta cannot know that much in detail. Only the Buddha can know suitable or unsuitable. Because the Buddha knows people's temperament and tendency and habit and hobby. That's why Buddha could guide properly, can give exact objects to exact people. That's why they can also take part and functional knowledge easily. Okay, the main thing is Mahata. In this case, it will be very, very many different things we have to understand. So if we have all these noble words, that means we are diligent. To achieve all these things, we must be more diligent. Every day we must check what kind of ability do we have, what kind of quality do we have. If we have all these 7 qualities, sure, we become stronger. Although it's a little amount, is good enough for one day. So then the next day, improve. The next day, improve like this. The main thing is that we must have consistent efforts. We must be diligent. Okay, now, Sattu Mahata Pajavakanata, reflection on the greatness of the Master. The Master means the Buddha. Okay, I list out. Buddha was well known when reborn. So when he was born as a human being in the human realms and Lumini, many of Devas also come to know, many of Brahma also come. That's why he was very well known. When renouncing, so he gave up his palace, his family, his royal family, or his position. He just lived simply. Renunciation is not that easy, right? If we say renunciation, we must be able to cut off all the attachment to family life, material wealth, and everything. So when we are meditating also, we must be able to cut off sensual pleasure. This is also called renunciation. So actually, renunciation is very wide. Very wide means when we ordain, a good ordained person also can be considered as renunciation. Another thing is that when we can attain jhana, this is also called renunciation. I don't remember US group or Vietnamese group or here Nepalese group who asked me this question yesterday. Oh no, day before yesterday. Among the 10 perfections, there's no jhana parami. So samadhi is not parami, right? How can we? Why is it like this? Actually, renunciation is also jhana parami. Jhana parami is also renunciation. Because samadhi is also renunciation. That's why when we can practice well, we also fulfilling Vikama parami. Not only that, when we are doing only wholesome deeds or beneficial things to our community, then this is also called renunciation. Then, if we attain Nibbana or insight, if we can practice Vipassana or if we can attain path and fusion knowledge, sure, this is a very good quality of renunciation. So the Buddha was aware when he renounced, when he lived, in this case we can say when he left his royal family and meditate alone. Then when he get enlightened, also very famous, very well-known event, many devas come, as many of Brahma also come, although we human beings didn't know. At the time, among the human beings, nobody there, right? Only divine beings. Also delivering the fat discourses, the fat discourse to 5 bhikkhus. This is a very well-known event because many devas and many Brahmas can take part in fusion knowledge in that event. Among the human beings, only one person, Venerable Kovida, can attain Sotapanna. You can also imagine. That is big event. The 5, going up Devarams. There are some people in modern society, they don't believe, right? Buddha go up Devarams. It's not practical, right? They say like that. It's impossible. They say like that. Of course, for their knowledge, it's impossible. But for Buddha's knowledge, it's possible. Right? Anyway, the Buddha go up Devarams. There's a big event because Buddha also displayed numerical power. Also, many devas and many Brahmas also come. The Buddha also deliver discourses in Devarams, especially Abhidhamma in Devarams. So there are some scholars, they don't accept Abhidhamma. Anyway, the main thing is also great event. 6, coming down to human realms from Deva realms. At the time also, many Devas and Brahmas, human beings gather in one place, a Sankasa, now, right? Then they welcome the Buddha. Also big events. Then there are release such life sustainment. So the Buddha declare releasing life sustainment in Vaisali. When Buddha was in Vaisali, Buddha renounced. Buddha just declared, right? 3 months later, I will enter Nibbana. the Buddha foretold his disciple 3 months earlier than his pre-Nibbana. And he also released his lifestyle statement. That means a kind of attainment. He entered into many different attainments to sustain his lifespans. But from that time on, he didn't enter into that kind of attainment anymore. It's a very well-known event. Then 8, entering pre-Nibbana. So we don't need to talk about it very that much, right? Because everybody knows pre-Nibbana is a special event, the last day of the Buddha. So until the last disciple arrives, he's waiting. He was waiting. When Venerable Subhadra arrived at Kusinara, Buddha also gave some instructions. Then he also ordained and meditate. He attained headship. So he also entered into many different attainments. And he also entered Nibbana after that. So to achieve such great things or great events, we must make great efforts. Sometimes we wish to be a great person. Also, we also very envious of a great person, but we don't wish to have great efforts. We don't wish to be diligent like them, and we cannot achieve. So if we wish to be a great person, we must have great efforts. All the high quality come from great efforts. So if we are lazy, we must recall all these events, all the events. Also, we must encourage ourselves to have great efforts to see all this kind of high quality. Then we have the next one, Jatimata Pachavakanata. So when we say Jatimata Pachavakana, that means reflection on the greatness of race. So inferior lineage, inferior efforts, superior lineage, and superior efforts. We can understand that one. So here we mention the Buddha lineage and the strongest efforts. So since we are Buddhists, our lineage is the Buddha. Our lineage starts from the Buddha. So that means to upgrade our society, our community, we must have great efforts. For example, Venerable Sariputta, he also have very great efforts. That's why he achieved like this. Many of disciples have the great efforts, but they could achieve very high quality. So now, if we like very easy things, very cheap and very normal experiences, then we just stop here. We just stop with the comfort and pleasant feeling, and we cannot improve. And sometimes we also have some problem, There are some meditators, they don't wish to improve. When they have peacefulness, they just stop there. So we have different purpose of meditation. There are some meditators, they just wish to clarify their minds. When they can clarify their minds, or when their mind becomes pure, then they stop meditating. This is what they wish. There are some meditators, when they have calmness and peacefulness, they stop there. They just wish to experience peacefulness. There are many other peacefulness better than that. Even they cannot experience because they stop in the very beginning of peacefulness. So as you have already known, the comfort zone, right, is a big trap for meditators also. If we are in the comfort zone, we cannot go out of that area. Just keep in this area, in that zone. For example, like peacefulness, calmness, tranquility, purity of the mind or clarity of mind, and all the things. When we have all these things, sure, we cannot improve. When we have attachment to any kind of pleasant things, pleasant feeling, or pleasant experiences, we cannot improve. So, for example, When seeing the light, also we have tranquility, rapture, joy. If we have attachment to it, we may not improve. We cannot see the nimitta. When seeing nimitta, also we have many other pleasant things. Stronger rapture, stronger tranquility. If we have attachment to it, if we stop there, we cannot improve anymore. We cannot attain jhana. So if we stop in jhana, also it's not really good things. There may be many other higher jhanas. Also, we have insight knowledges. We have to do all the process until we can attain nibbana. So actually, for some people, nibbana is very far from them. They also imagine like that. As long as we are trying, we are getting closer and closer to nibbana. We just need efforts. We just need confidence. So you have already known the Buddha's efforts. 6 years in Uruvela forest, he practiced diligently. Although his body is very weak, skinny and bony, although he cannot carry his body very well, but he kept practicing. Later he changed his system. The same, he also practiced diligently, and he attained Buddhahood. Okay, the main thing is, when we are lazy, just remember the Buddha's efforts, and also his lineage, the effort of his lineage. Okay, we have another one, number 8. Sabrahmacharya Mhata Pachavakanata. Reflection on the greatness of fellow friends in the holy life, Venerable Satipura, etc. So one more thing here. Here I just say Venerable Satipura, etc. Right? There are many other diligent bhikkhus at the time of the Buddha. Okay, if we cannot remember, or if we don't have that kind of knowledge, there are some meditators around you. They are very diligent. Then they can also achieve very high level of concentration. Another thing is the community. Here we call Sabrahmacharya, right? Sabrahmacharya means like we are practicing in a holy life. For example, sila. Now, when we have equal sila or not very far, not that much different sila, then we can live together. If our morality is so far, we cannot live together. Similarly, our view, our idea, our understandings. If our understanding or our point of view is a little bit similar or the same level, we can discuss. If our levels are very far, quite different, we cannot discuss. For example, reading the same sutta. It depends on different background. We may understand different way. Sometimes there are some traditions, they don't believe commentary. Now when they talk about sutta, sometimes they just add their own thinking, their own idea. It's become very messy. So the main thing is, when we have similar morality, when we have similar view, then we can live together. That's why Sabrahmacharya means view and sila. The main things is here. But actually there are many other things it should be a little bit similar. For example, we have concentration. When we have similar concentration or not quite different, so we can share. If concentration level is very far, then we cannot share our knowledge. They can misunderstand. Okay, now even in your meditation retreats, there are some people, they may have seen the light, right? So if you talk to somebody who had never meditated, then you may talk about your experience. Oh, when I can see the lights, it's very bright around my face, it bright all over the hall. So my mind became very calm, very quiet, very peaceful. When you say this kind of thing to no meditator, they may say you are crazy. The levels is so far. That's why we cannot share. So that means when we wish to improve, don't emulate lower level. Just emulate higher level. It will be better. So that means great one. If we just emulate high-ranking practitioners, we will become greater. We will become better. That is why Samadhi Mahata Kanami, we just have to emulate high-ranking Dhamma friends. It will be easier for improvement. So we must be ambitious like chief disciple. They have their aim, their goal. To achieve their goal, they are very diligent. That's when they become very great people. So similarly, around our community, in our society, there are some people, they are very diligent. They also achieve very high ranking, right, achievements. We can also emulate them. Okay, now, Kusita Bokala Briwachana down. The avoiding of lazy folk. So that means we must avoid associating with lazy people, right? Spending time by talking about useless things, going around wasting their precious time, complaining about many things, doing many other things, except meditation. Even this kind of thing can happen in meditation center. There are many people in meditation our center also. Except meditation, they do many other things. But they are not diligent in meditating, but they are diligent in many other things. If we associate with that kind of people, we may be lazy to meditate. That if we follow their way, we cannot improve anymore. That's why we should avoid this kind of people. Excuses for laziness are journey, sickness, activity, or famine. Have we talked about it before? They are also ground for energies. So we can also say journey, right? I have to go a very long journey, maybe I should rest today. So become lazy. I have a sickness. I just recover from my sickness. Now we become lazy. I have to do many other things. We become lazy. We don't have enough food. We become lazy, right? So they also give me ground for energy, ground for efforts. We may have sense of urgency that we may be energetic to meditate. There are also other excuses for laziness. For example, hot. It's too hot, right? Recently in Myanmar, it's very, very hot, very terribly hot. Then even they cannot live in the in the room. Then without using the fan or without using aircon, they cannot live. In some villages, we don't have any fan or any electrical things. Then they will survive under a shady tree. It's a little bit cooler than the houses. Anyway, the main thing is if we have some excuses or it's too hot, I cannot meditate. In US also some area are very, very cold, right? So too cold, I cannot meditate. It's just excuse. But a heat or cold, if we wish to meditate, we can meditate. Now in Himalaya, a little bit cold. Not very cold like USA, right? Like Chicago, very, very cold. Snow and right? Ice rain, hail, right? Then very cold. Okay, even in Himalaya, a few days ago, we had hail. Anyway, not that cold as Chicago or somewhere in US. Anyway, the main thing is cold. It's just excuse. It's too cold, I cannot meditate. In now modern society, you have many, many modern equipment to warm up. You have a heater. Even you can use aircon to heat up. your room, right? So that is why it's just excuse. Rather than too early or too late, this is also excuse. For example, right? When you start meditating, you may have one thoughts. Okay, I should try. Few more minutes later, I should try to get better. Then few more minutes later, okay, maybe you also pause one few minutes later. Then finally, one session is going to be end. Then you may determine another way. Okay, I will try next session. Then the next session also, if the same, you will pause one. You will delay the next session. Finally, the next day. Many, the next day. Finally, the next week. Many next week, the next month. Many next month, the next year. So if we have many the next year, there will be the next life also, right? Then when too early or too late, this is also just excuse. Similarly, hungry. Oh, I'm so hungry, I cannot meditate. So those satiated or too full, then after eating too much, overeaten, you may feel satiated or you may feel too full. You cannot meditate. So all these are just excuses, right? That means, given these lay excuses, he leaves things undone. That means he will not meditate. He will not perform his duties. These are just for excuses for lazy people. So here I mentioned Kusita Bogala Privatanada. That means if somebody has many excuses to perform their duties or to meditate, don't associate with them. If you associate with them, then you may emulate or you may follow their way of practice. You may live easily, you cannot improve. You may be in the comfort zone again. So this is also really very important, right? Kusita Bogala Privatanada. Then we also have another one. Arada Viriya Pugala Sevanada. Association with folk who have begun to exert for whatever conditions, journey, sickness, activity, or famine. So I have explained these things many times. So that means we might associate with intelligent people. But we can also learn from them how they diligence. Also, we also can learn how they live in their daily life, how they spare their time, how they manage their time to practice. Then if we have all this kind of knowledge, if we can learn from this kind of people, we can also practice better. We can also improve our life, our practice. So I have already said many times about association. Association doesn't mean only friendship or making friends. Association means we must emulate or imitate their way of practice. So in our community, there are many people, they are very intelligent. We can also learn from them how they are practicing, how they achieve their aim or their wishes. So if we can associate with this kind of people, then we can also improve ourselves. Okay, now the last one. This is the last one. Inclination towards the development of enlightenment factor of energy. So our mind must incline to have better energy or better efforts. So we should remember which discourse can cause energy. By listening or reading or reviewing some discourses, we can also be energetic. Actually, we have many stories in Dhammavada, many stories in the Chataka story. There are many other suttas in different Nikayas about energy. So after listening Dhamma talk given by some scholar or some Dhamma teacher about energy, or maybe by reading the books or by reviewing some discourse we have read, that we can be energetic, we can be intelligent. So if our mind inclined to be intelligent all the time, then one day it will happen. Then we can also intelligent, we can also practice better, we can also achieve what we wish. Okay, now the final one. Buddha-janas are easy to accept the shortcuts and like more gain with less effort. In our community or in your community, you can see this kind of people, right? Less efforts, then they will get more gain. Of course, if we are smart, we can have this kind of gain with less efforts. Then in the case of Dhamma, we're going to say we are smart because we have a lot of defilements to overcome. So another thing is, now we have many different teachers, right? They say many different ways of practice. Mostly they just create their own way to approach Vipassana. We can say shortcuts, right? Then they don't need to know Nama Rupas that much in detail. Body is a Rupa, mind is a Nama, finish. They don't need to know anything about the causes of Nama Rupas, right? Very simple way of approach. Then for about Anicca Dukkha Anatta, also very simple definitions or an approach of Anicca Dukkha Anatta. Then there are some meditator. They also say, if we just know what we are doing, it's good enough. We don't need to sit like Buddha statues. There's some teacher like that. So many people like easy things. They like shortcuts. But in the case of Dhamma, we don't have shortcuts. We must achieve something. We must improve something every day. So now, here, final suggestion. Meditator must have initial efforts, sustaining or reinforcing efforts, and the efforts to complete the practice or achieve higher knowledge. This is it, the encouragement. So in the very beginning, we need initial efforts until we encounter difficulty. So in every single improvement, there's a difficulty. After overcoming the difficulty, we improve something. So when we encounter difficulties, we must sustain or reinforcing, we must have sustaining effort or reinforcing efforts to face difficulty or to overcome difficulties. After overcoming difficulties, then we must try until we can complete the practice. We can achieve higher knowledges. This is the really meaning of Vidya. So that means all difficulty will tax our Vidya. When we are diligent enough, we will face all difficulties. We are trying to achieve something. Okay, practically when you are meditating, you may have many difficulties with the breathing for beginners. I'm also conducting another retreat in Nepal. There are some meditators. They have learned from other traditions. I also come from other traditions, actually. Before I come to PATVDH, I have been to other traditions. Then, because a long time habit, it's not easy for them to change new practice. Anapanasati is very simple. Just keep knowing only one thing. Right? It's the most difficult things for experienced meditators, especially they have long time habit of focusing in all over the body parts. Some they just focus on the abdomen, they focus on the forehead, many different practice. When they are going to change, it takes very long time. But anyway, if we can overcome these difficulties, then we may know new tastes of meditation. Like join, rapture, tranquility, different tastes. So that means we have difficulty even in the very beginning of practice. That's why we need initial efforts. So after overcoming very beginning, difficulty in the very beginnings, we must continue our practice. We may encounter many other difficulties on the way to achieve what we aim or what we wish. Now we must be ready to face all these difficulties. That's why we need sustained efforts or reinforcing efforts. So if we have all these types of efforts, then it will be easier for us to improve. Okay, today I just finished the enlightenment factor of efforts. So here, we should know that if we have sense of urgency, we may be very diligent. So we also have a ground for sense of urgency. In the very beginning, we have already mentioned, being born in the hell, we cannot meditate. Being born as a ghost, as an animal, we cannot meditate. That is why as a human being, we have value of life, we have value of a life, and we can also practice. Then you also have known the English proverb, opportunity, Satan knocked twice, right? So we human being has big opportunity to practice. That we should try our best to achieve higher attainment. So these are the practice. Up to today, we have already finished the first one, Sati-Sambojjhanga. Second one, Dhammavicaya-Sambojjhanga. Now the third one, we have Viriya-Sambojjhanga, 3. So tomorrow we can start Piti-Sambojjhanga. So we can divide 7 Sambojjhanga into 2 different groups. Dhammavicaya, the investigations of Dhamma. Viriya, the effort or energy. Next one will be Piti, rapture or joy. We have the next groove, concentration, equanimity, tranquility. When we are lazy or when our mind is not very active, then we can develop 3 of Bojjhangas. Dhammavicaya, investigation, or Viriya, efforts, or Piti, rapture. So rapture will be a very long story because we have added many recollections in detail. That's why it will take a little bit longer time. Okay, briefly, when we are lazy or when our mind is not ready to meditate, we should develop the enlightenment factor of investigations, effort, and rapture. It will be helpful for our practice. Okay, today I will stop here. So I have already said this one is not for beginners. Some of them are not for beginners, but for Viriya-Sambojjhanga, even for beginners, it's useful, right? So that means we just learn to practice. As we learn, we must practice. As we practice, we must also learn to know the truth. So may you all be able to learn and practice truly. Also, may you all be able to achieve the higher attainment by practicing 3 trainings. May you all be able to realize the final cessation and not suffering.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sayadaw, shall we proceed to the question and answer session?
Okay.
Okay. We will start with taking question from the floor. Brother Jia Hong, can you help with the microphone?
Con xin cảm ơn sư ông đã giảng dạy. Con đảnh lễ sư phụ. Giờ con muốn sư phụ có thể dịch câu hỏi của con đến sư ông. Những ngày qua sư ông đã giảng cho chúng con nghe về vấn đề sự tinh tấn, cố gắng nỗ lực tinh tấn trong hành thiền, chánh niệm và 2 cặp mà sư ông đã giảng dạy, đó là đức tin, trí tuệ, tinh tấn và định. Câu hỏi của con là khi mà ở hiện tại này, khi mà chúng ta tinh tấn tu tập và kết hợp với sự chánh niệm, cố gắng nỗ lực tinh tấn như vậy, thì nó có sự kết hợp của ba la mật hay là không? Và ba la mật này là thuộc về quá khứ hay là hiện tại? Và nó có thể giúp cho sự thành công, nếu như không có ba la mật thì có đạt được kết quả không ạ?
Okay, so that means as long as you are practicing, right? By Vedasana or maybe just practicing Samatha or Vipassana, you can say you are fulfilling Parami. So that means if we have Parami, it depends on our degree of Parami, how strong, how weak. There will be different effects, right? Different results. So if we have enough Parami in this body life, maybe next life we can attain leadership. Maybe 2 or 3 lives later, we can attain leadership. It depends on how is our mind also, right? Sometimes our mind inclined to many sensual pleasure. We have more negligence. It will be a little bit longer. If we are not negligent, it will be shorter. So, okay, briefly, all the practice we are doing, we are training parami, perfections. Okay.
Any more questions from the participant?
Yes, thank you, Sarah. I have 2 questions regarding a sutta that you were talking about, the passing away, the great passing away of the Buddha. So, so there were. Will there be? I've learned that in 5,000 years after the Buddha passing away, there will be a greatest event, the last event, that all the relics, Buddha's relics, combined together in somewhere in the Devas world, that all Devas and Brahmas get together and they listen to the Buddhas and get to see the Buddha's image for the last time. So if I don't have enough parami now and I continue to practice, if I make a wish that I can see Buddha for the last time and attain arahantship, is it okay? And if I understand that correctly?
Okay, so that means you are not sure also, right? At the time, if you are born in the like Aruba realms, for example, no immaterial realms, you cannot come and see the Buddha, right? If you are born as a Deva, you can see. If you are born as like the material Brahma, so you can see the Buddha, right? If you are born as a human being also, it will take time for you. For example, now you was born in, you live in USA, right? You must come to India, Bulgaria, right? Very far. Right? If you don't have any knowledge about Buddhism, you're gonna know also, right?
Yes.
Anyway, actually, okay, we can make this kind of aspiration, it doesn't matter. Because of practice for it, it doesn't matter, right? But mostly I don't recommend. Okay? If you just do your best for current conditions, it will be better for you. Right? It's very fun.
Yes, sadhu.
Right?
Thank you,
You
Sarah.
have to go around samsara very long times.
Yes. And Sarah,
Okay,
my last question is, so, I was taught that I need to chant in Pali, so the devas or protective deva, the Dhamma protective devas or Brahmas can hear me and better and protect me or protect the Dhamma or protect my practice. Is it true, Sarah?
Okay, we can understand, sure, because the Brahmas and Devas can understand Pali, the Buddha teaching. And that's why they can protect you. We also have that kind of thing. So one more thing here. For about the chanting, if you can know the meaning, it will be better. This is the one thing. Another thing is that grammatically it must be correct. This is one of the things, right? So as a bhikkhu, if we have to chant for other people, then we must have metta or loving kindness towards listeners. This is also important. The last one is also important. That we must not expect the gain or donation from the devotees. So we have 4 qualities for bhikkhus, right? We must understand the Pali. We are chanting. Grammatically, it must be correct. Another thing is that we must have metta towards listeners. The last one, we must not expect any donation from devotees or listeners. If we have these 4 factors, this chanting will be effective. And if we are not qualified enough, it's not effective. Similarly, from the listener side, listener also, right? Listener must not commit 5 mighty karma. This is also important. Also, listener must believe in Buddha. This is one of the factors. Another thing is the listener must not have a persistent wrong view. I mean, unchangeable wrong view. There are some people, they hold some wrong view, they cannot change. If they have this kind of wrong view, they cannot achieve anything. It's not effective. Okay? It depends on who chants and who listens. There can be different effects. Okay? Any other thing?
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, sadhu.
Dạ, con kính đảnh lễ Ngài. Dạ, con kính đảnh lễ Sư Phụ. Dạ, con có câu hỏi về giới. Nếu mà mình trong cuộc sống hàng ngày mà mình không có thời gian mình tới tượng Phật mình lạy rồi mình xin giới, nhưng mà con có thời gian 5 phút thì con đọc lên cái giới của con, thì như vậy có gọi là được là giữ giới không? Dạ, con cảm ơn.
Okay, so okay, surely. You can undertake Brisa anywhere. It's okay. If you can go to Buddha statues or shrine, it's much better, right? Just pay attention to the Buddha. Maybe some virtuous people around you. You can take 5 Brisas.
Cảm ơn Ngài.
Okay,
Any
now?
more questions? Any more questions from the participant? Otherwise, we will take the question from the chat group. Okay, no question. Mandami Seador, Sarah mentioned every improvement there will be difficulties. Could Sarah please elaborate about this point with practical example? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, some parts I have already explained in the Dhamma talk, right? For example, now many meditators here, they have been to many other traditions, then they encounter difficulty to keep knowing the breathing, because whenever they start focusing on the breathing, their mind will go here and there, because they focus all over the body before. This is the difficulty, right? Very beginning, they have difficulty already. So if we can overcome all this difficulty, then some of them, now 1 week already here also. So then they have some experiences now, and they will start seeing the light. Some of them have seen the light already. So when they see the light also, there's some difficulty because they use their eyes to see the light. The light will come to the eyes like a pointing torchlight to your eyes. That's why they feel some discomfort. So we have to encourage them to use their mind to keep knowing breathing. Then it's also a little bit difficult for them because we have habit of seeing something with our eyes. So now we are going to use our minds to keep knowing. This is one difficulty, right? Okay, that means if we can handle the case, we just use our mind to keep knowing breathing. There can be background light, then there will be nimitta. So when they start seeing nimitta also, they have many other difficulties. Right? Many other difficulties means the shape, the color, the locations, everything is changing. That's why we have a lot of difficulty. But when they can stabilize their nimitta, or when they can stabilize their minds, then their nimitta will be very stable, that they can see the nimitta around the nursery. Then it's also very difficult for them to focus on the nimitta. Okay? This is the example. So there are many other examples. For example, when you have very strong tranquility, it's very pleasant, very comfortable. Your mind will incline to it. Your effort will become weaker. You cannot balance effort and concentration. This is also another difficulty. So that means whenever you have something pleasant, something comfortable, your mind will incline it. Mostly people like comfortable things, pleasant things, right? This is also a bad habit. So just bring mind back to the object. It will be easier to maintain concentration. That's why. So, for example, always the good experiences, this also can be an obstacle. If we have bad experiences, sure, we don't need to say, right? It's really obstacle, more tolerable in our practice. Okay? Then any other thing?
理清一下都，在给十方不同的方向发慈爱的时候，身体需要改变方向吗？沙度沙度沙度。
Actually, metta does not come from body. Metta comes from the heart, comes from the mind, right? We don't need to change our body position to different directions. Just keep sitting, facing the same directions. We just need to radiate metta to a different directions. It's good enough. Okay?
On the me, Sayadaw, how to know we are using our mind or eyes as our eyes are closed? Sadhu, sadhu,
Sure.
sadhu.
So when we close our eyes, we cannot use our eyes anymore. But sometimes our minds go to the eyes. We're trying to see, breathing with our eyes also. Actually, even in your group, there will be somebody like this. So when they use their eyes to see the breath, mostly their heads is bending, right? Going down. That means they are not satisfied with their conditions. They want to know breathing. They want to see breathing. This kind of thing also can happen. Okay, the main thing is mostly we cannot see anymore because we close already, but our mind just go to the eyes and try to see with the eyes. So if we use our eyes like this, then the light will come to the eyes, then it will be very distraction for him or for her, right? Okay, the main thing is that your mind just go to the eyes and see it. Okay, the next one.
On the me, Sayadaw, what are the suttas included in Parita? If the chanting is done in other language, is it effective too? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, I have already mentioned it must be in Pali, right? Also, it must be grammatically correct. I have already mentioned that one, right? That's why it should be in Pali. Okay, how many operators are included? That's also actually a little bit difficult to explain. But traditionally, we have 11 operators in Myanmar, such as Mangala Sutta, Ratana Sutta, Metta Sutta, Vata Sutta, Khanda Sutta, also Adhanadira Sutta, Angulimala Sutta, Bojjhanga Sutta, Bobana Sutta, and so forth, right? We have some group of discourses in Myanmar. But actually now there are many other chanting. For example, like Mahasamaya Sutta. Many of Myanmar people also chant this Sutta. Also sometimes we also chant like Kirimananda Sutta, right? There are also some chanting like this. It depends on the place we live. There can be different tradition of chanting. Okay?
On the me, Sayadaw, please Sayadaw advise. 1. Is it right one bhikkhu can know the yogi can have nimitta arise for a near time or for a long time? 2. have benefit or no to human being, Deva or Brahma, or another rhyme when chanting in the mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, the first question, right? This is actually maybe if you have met that kind of bhikkhu, right? Priya mentioned it's right. One bhikkhu can know yogis who can have nimitta, right, for the near time or for a long time. That kind of actually cheating. Be careful, right? If somebody say like that, it's cheating. But we cannot read other people's minds like this. We cannot read other people's meditation like that. This is something, right, improper. As a bhikkhu, we should not say like that also. Okay, what about the benefits? The main thing is if you can understand the meaning and just chant it mentally, it's also okay. It also can be beneficial for devas and human beings. Of course, if you can speak out, if you can chant bhavali, right, they can hear, then it will be more beneficial. Okay?
The next question is a Chinese question.
礼敬下多，向10个方位散播慈爱。如果身体不同改变方向，头面对相同的方向，怎么辨识是东南西北方向呢？沙度沙度沙。
Okay, now close the eyes. You can pay attention to different directions. It's a mind maze, right? So that means it's all the directions you can know in your minds, right? You don't need to see your body. You need to use your eyes to see the directions. Okay? Whether you close or you open your eyes, you can know the directions. This is actually very simple, right?
Next question is a Vietnamese question.
Okay. So dream is a dream. Until we had the shape, we may have dream. Only arhats may not have dream. Okay? This one is a little bit easier to answer. Okay, next one.
Sarah, there's no more question from the chat group. Any question from the participant from the floor? Any more questions?
Wanami Sayadaw, dạ kính bạch sư phụ, con có câu hỏi với ngài là có nhiều vị thiền sinh cũng là bạn của con, nhiều khi đi hành thiền xong đi một dòng thiền xong rồi về vài tháng sau lại đi một cái dòng khác. Họ nói với con là họ học được nhiêu thì học, lụm được nhiêu thì lụm, thành ra không có biết cái như vậy có tốt hay có xấu chỗ nào. Dạ xin sư phụ hỏi giùm con à. Sa thú, sa thú.
Actually, for about merit is okay, right? Because you have great intentions, good mind, you just do, right? Buddha teaching, Sambara Buddha teaching, we can say this is good enough for the basic level. But if you wish to improve higher level, you must follow systematic way of teaching. Right? Then you must find proper teacher who can teach systematic. It will be easier. Otherwise, you just waste your time using different methods, different theory to achieve something. Right? Then, okay, another thing.
I have one question regarding the wisdom you were teaching earlier. So you were teaching us that to attain jhana, we have to, even in samatha, we have to have wisdom in order to attain any of the concentration. Is this is there a difference between the wisdom that attain jhana and the wisdom that can attain the vipassana in order to inside wisdom? Is it the differences, Sarah?
Okay, sure. We've got different experiences, different wisdom. Right? So all the wisdom comes from experiences. We call Jhanamaya Panya. Right? I have to say Jhanamaya Panya means when we attain jhana, we become skillful. Then we can say this is also Panya. Right? Similarly, when we are practicing Vipassana, we become skillful in Vipassana. This is also called Panya. Okay, so that's why two different conditions, two different experiences. That's why we can also say two different Panya. Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. So after we can attain the jhana with the wisdom, then we continue to practice to get the inside wisdom in order to attain arahantship. Yes, Sarah?
Sure. So concentration should be first. I'd rather go to Vipassana. Sure. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, Sarah, there's one question in the chat group, Chinese question.
礼敬下多，三藏有兰卡的版本和缅甸版本，请问应该相信哪个版本的？多少？
Okay. Actually, in Sri Lanka version also, in Myanmar version we add Sri Lanka version. Okay. Maybe I should share the screen, right? Actually, now modern application. Okay. In modern application, it mention all types of version. Okay. Sometimes we have blue. Okay. Maybe I should show you. Okay. Wait for a while, right? I have to use application here. Maybe I have to wait for a while, right? It will be easier for us. Sorry. All these scripts. Okay. Okay, I will show you. Oh, why? Huh? Why is happening? Okay. I will share the screen, right? Tipitaka. This is a typical application. And you can see, right? Okay, now, Mula Panasa Pali. I will scroll up and I can see some mark there, blue color. Okay, in this part, we cannot find many blue color. Oh, okay, maybe I should go to Tikanika, it will be easier. I'll be attacked, will be easier. Okay, let me check. Cannot find it. Actually, if there is some different versions, it mentioned with blue color in the application. Okay. I should scroll until I can see it. Oh, I cannot find out. It's okay. The main thing is in one version, in current applications, actually it mentions all the different versions of Tipitaka. Mostly it mentioned in the blue color. For example, C means Sri Lanka version. Siami Thai version. Kami Cambodia version. P means the Bangladesh Society version, right? It includes all the version in one application. Similarly, in Myanmar version also, we have footnotes. In the footnote, it mentions. Oh, here we don't have any different version. That's one I'm gonna find. Okay, the main thing is we can find all the typical versions. Okay, in one. That's why you don't need to worry about it. I'm gonna find any variation. It should be practical, right? Okay, that means, okay, don't worry about it. Okay, now another question, okay, if I can find our answer. Is there any other question? Huh? Okay. Okay, you can share screen. Okay. Okay, then, any question? Okay, sure. Okay, sure, sure. You can see here. B means Bangladesh Society, T means Thai version, right? Another we also like a Kami Cambodia version. And then it's a C means Sri Lanka version. Okay. Then it's okay, right? Here, okay. We also, right? Okay, then any other question?
Sarah, there's no more question in the chat
Here
group.
also. Okay, one more question. Check group.
One bhikkhu say in my country, Indonesia have Mara. What's Mara mean here?
Actually, Mara means defilements also Maras. We can also say Mara as a divine beings. Kanda aggregate also Mara, right? The death also called Mara. That's why it depends on his intention. We cannot say exactly, right? You might ask, what's your intention? What do you mean Mara? Maybe he may know, right? Then any other thing?
Any more question from participant? Okay, Sarah, there's no more question in the chat group and from the participant. So, Sarah, shall we proceed to the session?
Okay.
Thank you very much for your valuable teaching today, Sarah. And thank you, our interpreter Bante, for the translation. May we invite Sarah to lead us in making aspiration and sharing of merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Etawadaja amehi sambadam punya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe satta numodandu sabba sampati siriya idame nyatinam hodu sukhita hondu nyateyo Idhamme Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyatiyo Idhamme Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyatiyo Idhamme Bunyam Asavekaya Waham Hotu Idhamme Bunyam Nibbanasa Bhajayo Hotu Mama Bunya Bhagam Sabbasadanam Bhajami Te Sabhe Me Samam Bunya Bhagam Labandu Sadhu Sadhu
Sadhu, 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 sadhu. Thank you, Sayadaw, and everyone for your time and participation. Till we meet the next session, may all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.